What's up, everyone? I hope that you had a good Canada Day or Independence Day or July 4th weekend, wherever you are. Here, nothing really happened. I don't even think fireworks went off in town because of all the restrictions and whatnot. But yeah, this past week I've spent a lot of time in the garage doing a lot of cleaning and organizing, and have put a couple hours into the 240 as well. So this is more or less just an update video. I am going to show you a pile of stuff that I've done and kind of show you around, and then we're going to go back outside and I'll show you a few things on the 240. I was ready to kind of think about putting insurance on the 240 this past weekend. Of course, COVID-19, the place is closed on Saturday when it's usually open. So I'm going to plan on maybe tomorrow, it'll be Monday, and I will maybe go and get some insurance put on the 240 so I can start driving it around and just make sure everything's good with it. So first things first, I've had this garage door opener for like a year. It's been sitting in a box over on the side here, and it's something I was kind of walking past in Walmart, saw it on clearance for $50 half price, and I was like, I got a garage door. So of course I picked the thing up, and it's been sitting around. I finally got around to installing it, and it works awesome. It's really small, really quiet. Doesn't have a lot of power and torque, but the door is really light, so it's effortless for the thing to pull it up and put it back down. The install was pretty straightforward. The instructions, as long as you follow them, you can't really go wrong. And really, I probably could have filmed the whole thing and done like a how-to video on how to install this garage door opener, but with the amount of time that I spent installing it, which was probably about average, and then adding the time of filming, not something I was really interested in for this channel anyway. So just getting it installed and out of the way at least allowed me to clear one box out of the way. So next, this wall, decided to completely reorganize it. I got rid of the stack of tires that was there and just got certain things pushed up against the wall. The tool cart is more or less now just a tool bench of some kind. So all the casters are off it on the bottom, and I've stacked all my jacks in there and the bin of rags, and then I can just pile tools or parts into it as I'm working on something over here. The welder, battery charger, vacuum, my exhaust hoses and all the ramps, and then I got tire chocks kind of stacked in the corner there. So still kind of doing some organization, maybe a couple little things there. I'll probably get a little power bar. Instead of having the extension, I'll put a power bar, so I do have a couple of more outlets. Over here, not much has changed. The ladder's still stacked where it is. But I've got everything that was here, like the tool cart and whatnot, has all been moved. I've really gone ahead and cleaned everything. So, I mean, all the dust, I swept a few times. Everything's been wiped down. The entire bench is pretty much cleared off now. And I've really gone to work on these cupboards as supply cupboards. I've wiped down the crane. It's amazing how much dust had actually built up in here. And just having it as clean as it is, it makes me a lot happier. Now, if you've seen some of my older videos, this PC is usually running. It's actually a small unit just up here. And I've ran a network cable right from underneath my house from the router all the way up to this point, which right now, currently I'm using a wireless access point so I can get good wireless in the garage. And I've been substituting this tablet because the PC, I forgot the password to it. And I'm being serious. I don't know how it's happened. I mean, I only use so many passwords, but I do have a number of machines, and I've also got a PC at work and a work password and work emails, and so I tried just about every password that I could think of, and for a couple months I haven't been using this thing because I just can't get into it. I've even tried to crack my way into it and wasn't able to. So I've decided to, I'm going to have to pull it down and just wipe it and end up redoing it. It has all my repair information on it usually, so it's something I really want to have. And just being able to stand here and jump onto Google and get some information and play music, it's something that I've been without for a long time, and it's come to the point where I have to do something about it. Because the tablet's slow, and it's just a tablet. So yeah, I got to pull that guy inside and wipe it and redo it. Going over onto the bench here, I managed to clear a lot of the parts that I don't need currently. Of course, this is the turbo up pipe and the actual TD04 for that. So that's why that's there. There's a couple extra turbos. This starter is for single overhead cam KA. If you know someone, or if you want that, you pay the shipping and I send it to you. That's it. That alternator that's a KA alternator, but it will fit the RB, so I've got to wash that up because it is a good working alternator. It's been coated in grease, but it spins nice, and I know it charges, so it's something I want to hold on to as a spare. The bench, I completely cleared it off, like wiped it down or whatnot. The bench grinder I wiped down because it was just completely covered in dust. Everything was covered in dust. Down here I did a little bit of organizing. I had a bunch of kindling down in here, so I just cleared that all out and put all my more power tools and temporarily put the propane heater, put my lubricants down on the bottom there. That box is full of stuff for the 240, like wiper blades and license plates and stuff. Those are all my tool kits. That box has all the parts to swap that engine into the Impreza, so it's kind of sitting there temporarily. Now we'll go into these cupboards. I'll show you these. So this top cupboard hasn't changed a whole lot, but it's a little better organized. So the top shelf's like more cleaning products and anything to do, like from glass cleaner and tire foam to that upholstery cleaner and a bunch of cleaning sprays and brushes. The next one is more lubricants and cleaners, so some brake fluid, brake clean, throttle body cleaner, mass airflow cleaner, some power steering and ATF, a few sprays in there like white lithium and penetrating fluid. Down here on the bottom is like just tubes of stuff and anti-seize, muffler cement, JB Weld. I've got a box of cotter pins there. That's a box of O-rings. Coming down into this one, we've got this top shelf is hardware. So these are a lot of screws, a bunch of stainless screws, self-tappers. This all in the center here is a lot of used bolts that I kind of just want to hold on to. Most of this stuff is new, so we've got like 3/8, 5/16, 1/4 inch bolts, nuts, washers. This has various size washers and metric bolts. Going down, we've got more of electrical, so I bought a whole pile of cheap putt connectors from my work because the guys didn't like them, so I ended up paying almost the price that they paid, but I still get a good deal on them. So I've got butt connectors for life. A bunch of crimp connectors of all different types, brass lugs for doing cable, some wire, a bunch of different fuses, a whole pile of LED bulbs, just various relay switches, couple bulb holders, stack of electrical tape. Down here we got hose. So this is just various hose of all different sizes, mostly for fuel. A whole pile of clamps. This is absolutely full of small clamps and fuel injection clamps. I didn't realize how many fuel injection clamps I ended up buying. I guess I always assumed that I didn't have them, and so I was going through one drawer and I ended up finding like 3 bags of them. More ATF, couple other bottles of oil, zip ties, some hand cleaner, some grease, so just some oil lubricant stuff on the bottom. And that's kind of that. over here I redid the paint. So I've got just various paints, some kind of sanding supplies and body fill, tape. And then over on that side, clear coat, primer, a bunch of different black spray, and body fill, some putty, fiberglass resin, that kind of stuff. So this wall remains pretty much the same. I've got too much stacked cardboard over here, but I'm constantly using it, and eventually I'll have to get rid of some of it. 2 transmissions, one from the 240 and one out of the old Impreza. Exhaust for the Impreza, work table. That is a pipe bender that I recommend not buying because it doesn't do anything other than literally kink pipe. But I am going to try and repurpose that for something else, so that's why it's still sitting there. So yeah, other than that, everything's kind of been wiped down and cleaned in here, and it just feels a lot better. Like, I'll probably give one more good sweeping before I bring the car back in, just because I should. So as for the 240, I have all of the rear interior installed. The battery box is finally bolted in, the wiring's all laid out, the rear seat is in. Now I did have to do a few things. So the rear seat, as you can see in these pictures, was horribly stained. It didn't really have a bad smell. It's been sitting in the car in my garage for quite a long time. It's fully dried, but the staining on it, I think, was basically from a baby car seat sitting there, and baby just throwing whatever it wanted and, you know, doing what babies do. So I did an upholstery clean on the seat bottom and the seat back. I did the bottom twice to get as much of the stain out of it as I could and really freshen those seats up quite a lot. And then all of the pieces that I had to install were installed. So the interior rear panels, the carpet, the privacy cover, the speaker holders, everything was installed. It has no rear speakers. I kind of looked up the size. They're by 4x5, which I maybe next year or over the winter I'll get some off of Amazon and kind of redo the stereo in the car, but I think I am going to leave it for now. So yeah, other than that, I put a bunch of slap stickers on the side window, just stuff that I've been holding on to. I'm purposely going to put it onto this car, so that's why it went onto it. So yeah, let's go outside and have a look at the interior on the 240. Here's the slaps. That top one is from a friend that got it from a friend of his that's doing tuning for him. The Import Addicts one is just from online somewhere, maybe even eBay. This bottom was from Because Daddy on YouTube. The center two are also from Southern Hooning on YouTube. And I think that top one's from Instagram. This one I picked up off of eBay because it suits the paint job on the car absolutely. Gotta love those power locks. First we'll just get a glimpse of the seats in the back. So they did come out really nice. The panels probably should be wiped down. They do have a bit of dust on them, but they definitely look a lot better, and it actually smells really nice in here right now. The front seats I'll probably give a similar type of wipe down and wash, and the same with the fabric on the door panels. Now I imagine the shot in through the back window might be difficult because of the reflection, but you can see I have the privacy cover there, and the top of the seat's looking really clean as well. So you can see that opens up with the hatch because it's got all the proper hardware to do it. Of course, this still all needs to be cleaned out and painted, but for now it's the way it is. The black carpet turned out pretty decent, and I've got the battery box completely bolted in. The strap holds the lid on. The breaker's bolted to the top lid and everything's fused past there. But it turned out really nice with all the trim pieces painted, because this was all tan and brown color, right? I've even got this panel on here, and this also needs to be painted still. Progress. So yeah, everything's still coming along. The driveway still has not been started. I'm kind of waiting for him to come. The car is still not gone. I'm still kind of waiting for someone to come pick up that. So I've still got all these little side sub projects going on, but I just keep on chewing away at stuff as best I can. So I'm really not sure what I have planned for next weekend. It could even be a driving video with the S13. We'll just have to wait and see. So if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here and you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Leave your questions and comments further down below. And I'll see you in the next one.